So I'm here with a man who I've known for many years, and got to see him prosper as a comic creator, starting all the way back with Stranger, coming up to now. Yeah. You are the only comic creator who has ever driven to my house to give me comics. That's awesome.
That's not creepy at all. Yeah. Some person I didn't know just dropped comics off in my mailbox. I should probably read them because he knows where I live.
I personally wish every comic creator did that. Yeah. I wouldn't have to leave the house. It's great.
Yeah.
But currently, you're here at Toronto ComiCon promoting your work, one of which is the one-shot Morte from Source Point Press. Yeah. Tell us a bit about how that came to be.
Well, with Morte, the author, Kevin Joseph, and I, we both listen to the same podcast. And this podcaster was talking about him on one episode, talking to him on one episode, and I enjoyed the episode. But then he also interviewed me for an episode. And we both sort of heard each other's things, and he just sort of emailed me out of the blue and said, hey, I heard you on this podcast, and I have this idea for a story, but before you say yes, I want to let you know a couple things. So he just sort of went down this list of why I shouldn't do it, but he felt that I was the right person to do it. And he sent me the script, and I read the script, and I said, I have to do this. I have to do this book. It was just, I enjoyed the story so much.
The story, of course, takes place in a post-apocalyptic kind of world. That's kind of the house that you've lived in for quite some time now in the comics world.
I suppose. I mean, Stranger was the zombie apocalypse thing, but this one is very different from Stranger in that I like to think it's a little bit more of a positive story, which one wouldn't expect in a post-apocalyptic tale.
Yeah, totally, and the writing in this very verbose. Oh my God, one letter, the entire thing.
And I think there's an ellipsis? Not an ellipsis.
Ellipsi.
Which is it? Which is the circle and which is the dots?
The dots are ellipsis.
Okay.
So there you go. You got it right.
That's the word I wanted. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, that's great. But because this is a very visual book, and kind of the storytelling was mainly planted on your shoulders for this to take Kevin's plot and bring it to life. So did you feel a lot of pressure taking somebody else's idea and giving it, the visual story?
Well, Kevin was very passionate about the story, and I just didn't, like everything I do, I just don't want to let people down. In this interview we're doing right now, I don't want to let you down. That's my impetus for everything.
Bring it in, man. Bring it in.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
I think that's the first time we've hugged. It felt special. When somebody hands you a project that they're passionate about, you just want to make sure you do it right. Or I do. I want to make sure I did it right. And I did the best I could, and thankfully he liked it. He was satisfied.
That's great. Now, stepping a bit out of your wheelhouse, you've also done a comic book on hockey.
Hockey, yes. Something I know very little about. So that was exciting. I had to do a whole lot of research on that. A whole lot of YouTubing. Is that what the kids call it now, YouTubing? Are we
on the YouTubes? Yeah.
I was on the World Wide Web watching the videos. But that was an exciting challenge too. Again, I love doing things that I'm not comfortable with because it forces you into spaces that you need to become accustomed to.
That's right. Now, who was the hockey player that you were focusing on in this book?
Connor McDavid, number 97, Edmonton Oilers. I know that now.
How did you get involved in a hockey book when you don't have an affinity towards hockey?
I'm not entirely sure how it came about, but Scholastic saw my work and they thought that I would be a good fit for them. And I must not have screwed up too badly because they invited me back for the second book. So I just got to, see, again, not letting people down. I just got to keep not screwing up and I'll be okay.
What's the name of the second hockey play? Like, what's the second book about?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say or not, but I mean, it's going to print now. Haley Wickenheiser. So, Canadian Olympian Haley Wickenheiser. So, I mean, that was challenging too. Again, I'm still not completely knowledgeable about hockey, but I do my best. And again, hopefully I didn't screw it up too badly. I didn't get too many edits, so I think they're pleased, and I'm proud of the work I do. Every time you do something, you just want to do something a little bit better and a little bit better, and hope that people don't hate it.
Well, that's the thing, is that you've continued to progress in your art style and your storytelling. You're really coming into your own, and it's great. Is your advice to young artists just don't screw it up? Is that it?
Screw it up, or even better, screw it up and then learn from screwing up. I mean, you have to do this, to do anything really, you have to not be afraid to make mistakes, but you have to recognize that you're going to make mistakes and that's okay. And you need to learn from those mistakes, because there are people out there who they do make the mistakes, but they don't learn from it. So they keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. So they are it's like a hamster wheel. You know what I mean? But if you can take those mistakes, learn something, then you have the chance to do it right. And just keep going.
All right. Well, you're doing it right, sir.
Thank you.
I continue to enjoy your work, and I look forward to you stalking me in the future.
I can't wait till that just doesn't come up anymore. I'm blushing.
That is never going to happen, sir.